chuckling and laughing. Not so much at the Love Boat program, Love Boat theme, that era in America. None of that. We're laughing at that castle out in New Orleans East on many levels. It was built as a World's Fair 1984 kind of first stop coming into the city. Let's stop right past Slidell, miles from the city, to check in first. What? That castle's for sale out in the east if you got $500,000, which I guess is about $400,000 too much. I don't know. Isn't the castle like a negative? Sort of like, hey man, I'm going to use this as my hunting camp. I have to deal with the castle. It's not like you bust out a wall and make an addition. It's a big concrete thing. And I see window units there. $500,000. Come on, Swoboda. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, there is some good news about that area near the castle. The Frank Davis Naturally Nolans bridge signs, A, sort of rusting, and B, it's broken off one part of the one of the posts that hold it up, so it's only on the left post and it's bent and hanging. So with a little luck, that bad boy will just snap off clean and we'll never see it again. And it'll never be replaced, ideally. I think the one coming from Slidell and St. Tammany, that's so weird. The one in St. Tammany's secure. The one in Orleans Parish is all mangled and messed up. Anyway, Frank Davis Naturally Nolans Bridge. Welcome to silly New Orleans. That's like the entrance to silly. It just sets you up perfectly. Hey, there's a guy on TV, a great hunting and fishing guy we all liked. TV guy. We named the Expressway after him. Wow, was he like the most beloved TV guy? No, just one of many. We're going to name the high-rise the Al Duckworth high-rise, the Jim Henderson 610, the Nash Roberts Earhart Expressway. I mean, it's crazy. Frank Davis. I mean, Frank Davis is fine. The pier that was left below the old I-10, that's a pier, that should have been the Frank Davis Memorial Pier. And nothing about Naturally Nolans. All right, I'm going to stop because then I'll start busting on A.G. Crow, that hack politician from the North Shore, who's against an IG's office for St. Tammany. An IG, someone that scrutinizes the money that's being spent. Someone that oversees public money being spent. A.G. Crow and company are saying, hey, you elected us. We don't need anyone to overlook us. You're trusting us to do it. And what's the problem with having someone overlooking you? An office that pays for itself. An inspector general, which still doesn't exist for St. Tammany Parish. It's almost criminal. I don't know how St. Tammany Parish residents aren't clamoring for an IG. It's free. It's free. The IG will find inefficiency, money being spent inefficiently, and it'll pay for the office in the first year or two. Indefinitely correct a problem that goes on year in, year out, decade in, decade out. It'll pay for the office continuously. And then he'll find some criminal behavior going on. And my God, come on, the North Shore is North Shore, New Orleans. I don't need to bring up Jack Strain or the old DA. The old DA, geez, I'm the luckiest man in the world. Got a great attorney on the South Shore that got him off the hook, basically, Corona. No, come on. The North Shore's got major problems, too. And it's the most affluent, richest parish with the most taxpayer money being spent, the most growth. Lots of public works projects going on the North Shore. Widening of I-12. That should have its own CPA scrutinizing the dollars spent on that. Anyway, I digress. I regress. We've got a great wide open Wednesday program coming your way. 92 degrees, feels like 102, so lots of agua, water, H2O, hydration. It's our hydration proclamation. No, it is stifling hot out there. It is walk outside and it hits you like a ton of bricks. It's hot temperature-wise, high temps in the 90s, humidity's high. The feels like I told you, about $1.02, $1.03. Got a good one coming your way. Joe Giarrusso is going to join us, New Orleans City Councilman, in about 10 minutes. The council's been very busy today, hearing from a bunch of folks. We'll find out exactly what went down with the council, plus so much more. I don't know how we're going to cram it all in just a few minutes. What happened today, the mayor pointing the finger at Lakeview residents and Giarrusso for this drainage project that could go away, the crime problem, the sheriff, the smart city. I mean, we'll try to jam it all in. Joe Giarrusso joining us in about 10 minutes. In about 25 minutes, around 4:35, tell your friends, spread the word. Former Sheriff Marlin Gusman's going to join us on the program. Former New Orleans Sheriff Marlin Gusman is going to join us on the program. The Hudson Sheriff era going on right now. Not Gusman, Hudson. 2 dead. And then moving sheriff deputies from the criminal court to the jail that appears to be out of control. And criminal court shutting down in a city that got to have criminal court. My God, got to put the criminals in jail. We're infamous for this 701 release, this taking too long to try folks and having to let them go. That's just beyond sinful and criminal. It's outright dangerous. And it endangers the most vulnerable in New Orleans. I mean, I can promise you, rich uptown folks, they don't like this. But the poor, mostly black, 7th Ward, 8th Ward, 9th Ward folks, they're taking the brunt of this inaction. They're catching the worst of it. Criminals aren't going back to State and Magazine. The criminals are going back to Louisa and Florida Boulevard. Corey Johnson with you on a wide-open Wednesday edition of the program. Joe Giarrusso in 10 minutes. Former Sheriff Marlin Gusman around 4:35. You don't want to miss that. 93.9 FM is how you check out the program. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. We're also on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. 107.9 FM, 600 AM from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida. We're on TV all over Louisiana. Cox Channel 4, that's Your View, Louisiana. If you subscribe to Cox Television in Louisiana, I'm there every weekday afternoon at 4 p.m. on Cox Channel 4. Spectrum, Charter Television subscribers in Louisiana. Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 to 5:30. CoreyTalks.com live streaming. You can watch the show, listen to the show. It'll connect you to our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, I should say. Click to subscribe on that bad boy. Go to YouTube, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. You can find the program live. You can find it after the fact, yesterday's show, all that good stuff. We're on YouTube, CoreyTalks.com, television, radio. Yeah, you right. The city council may finally come to their senses and reestablish the use of facial recognition technology and other law enforcement tools that are being used all across America today. I mean, what have we been waiting for? The industry standard in law enforcement nationwide, we run from it. Last week, Friday, that June 10th flooding, the Sewage and Water Board originally, the standard line, 4 inches of rain, couldn't keep up with the rain. The pumps can't keep up. Today, Gassan Corban, who I like, said there was a 2-hour delay in the Gentilly pumps starting up. The Gentilly pumps responsible for about 85% of drainage from Gentilly to the Industrial Canal. The most controversial U.S. Open takes place tomorrow. LIV Tour. Golf Channel. Commentator Brandel Chambly just ripping Mickelson, the Saudis, LIV on the attack. Wow, 2 more arrested. 80-year-old Augustine Greenwood gunned down outside of Xavier at that high school graduation. 2 more arrested, a 49-year-old and a 40-year-old. Are you serious? Full-blown adults. Ridiculous. One felony tax charge has been dismissed, but 10 remain for New Orleans DA Jason Williams. His federal trial, starts 4 weeks from Monday. Corey Johnson with you on a Wednesday. Trey Yen lunch specials. Oh, so good. For about the price of fast food, you can be dining on gourmet Chinese lunch at Trey Yen. Plus, dinner tonight at Trey Yen. 25 minutes from Lakeside Mall, an easy ride across the causeway. Right at the foot of the bridge, you North Shore folks. Trey Yen tonight for dinner. So good. So good. The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, no cool side. NOLAC.com, no cool side.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore and Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Corey Johnson back at you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program where you're the show producer. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 504-766-9480 is how you dial us up. 504-766-9480. New Orleans Councilman Joe Giarrusso joins us on the program again. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Corey. How are you?
Doing well, man. A pleasure. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Of course.
You know, I kind of originally were getting you on just like update / mayor attacking you and the residents of Lakeview with this flooding thing, but that's got to wait for a second if that's all right.
Okay. Well, what is the hot off the press news?
I guess two things. The council may finally come to their senses and reestablish the use of facial recognition technology and other things. Did that go down today? And also, what else happened today? Lots of visitors with the city council, huh?
There were. Actually, there were so many visitors that the police chief is back at the table making the presentation on facial recognition. Given the late hour in the day and how much more is left to be done, I'm uncertain whether there's going to be a vote or not. And as I've told other outlets before, my considerable concern with the way the legislation was rewritten is that it basically allowed anybody inside city government to use facial recognition software. That still has not been changed, and I've had other actors in the criminal justice system say it's absolutely inappropriate for pick somebody, even the council. I mean, I have no business being in the middle of the facial recognition stuff.
I'm no genius, Joe, but it seems like someone could just walk up, throw down 50 examples of facial recognition being used all across America, 500 examples with the guidelines that are obvious and commonsensical, and say, let's get this going tomorrow. It's mind-boggling, all the things that slow down stuff in New Orleans. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, add things, take things out. We need to follow what works in other cities that are functioning properly. Don't you agree?
I would say yes, but I would also say everybody should have really read the last ordinance, which allows NOPD to continue to get facial recognition. And I encourage people to actually read the legislation from time to time, because the bottom line is most other jurisdictions themselves are not using facial recognition. They're getting it either from state or federal agencies. And the prohibition last time was from the city using it. And I think I've been told, now if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit that I'm wrong, that the NOPD has continued to receive facial recognition, and that the ban is not on the NOPD itself receiving it. So,
and another thing, I don't know, it seems like we're worrying about the criminals' rights all the time in the city, like this hyper woke mentality. And I'm a registered independent. I like liberals and conservatives equally and dislike them equally. But it seems like we're more concerned with that. It's like, hey, let's put it out there and then tweak the problems as it's out there, because at least we're catching criminals. And the screw-ups, the mistakes, the overzealous, get on top of those folks and pop them for being overzealous and misusing the system. But I mean, getting it perfect before we implement it, my God, it's been months we've been talking about this. But I don't want to bog down on this.
I'd circle back to the police have had the ability to get it. If the way the ordinance currently reads is that if facial recognition is used by an outside agency, it can be sent to NOPD.
Gotcha.
So
okay, fair enough.
There is no absolute verboten prohibition against it.
Gotcha.
And I think to that point, Corey, you're making a really good point too, which is given that there is this opening, then what was done in the interim to try and work through those things that were important. And to NOPD's credit, they worked on a policy which the Department of Justice approved, and I give them a hell of a lot of credit for getting that taken care of. So to me, now it's let's if people want to see greater use of it or have something that's a little bit different than the way that it's currently being done. Given that we've had so much time, let's just get it right and make sure that it's going through the right channels rather than a secret clandestine investigative body somewhere in City Hall that wants to use it for other city employees, because that's the way the proposed ordinance reads at this moment, and that's not what we're talking about, right?
Right.
We're talking about trying to deal with folks who are breaking the law instead.
No, and I want to use the cell phone technology, all those tools that law enforcement uses generally across the country. Hey, besides the police chief and crime, the jail, major problems, lots of visitors today. Who else was there besides the police chief?
So the police chief was there today. The DA was there today for a long time, it seemed like. I had a couple of meetings, and I didn't know if it was deja vu. He was still on the television when I came back. So he was there for a long time. And the sheriff, as you were alluding to, was before the committee today, too. And I think... Look, I saw some social media reaction. Obviously, I'm waiting to see more about what gets written, whether by the paper or record or other online sources. But I think the council has every right to be asking what's going on in the jail and was it properly staffed and how many deputies were present when these incidents happened on consecutive days.
That is more of a obvious, answer you guys should be getting than even like smart city, public, property, stuff. That's a no-brainer. Why would the sheriff not be telling the council that information?
I don't know the answer to it, and let me put it in maybe like the clearest, starkest terms that I possibly can. The council funds the sheriff's office for $55 million. As you're sort of pointing out with all of these other things, if I'm that large of a line item to one place, then we have the right to know what ROI we're getting in return. Number one.
And I'd make sure the $55 million source gets all the info they ever ask for.
That's right. And then here comes the second part. What are we hearing? Well, we're understaffed. We need more things. We need more resources. So how am I supposed to determine if you need more money if you won't answer my original question of what are you doing with the money you have right now?
We're visiting with Joe Giarrusso, New Orleans councilman. No, exactly. That's the problem in the city. And then when you do get the info, it can be very revealing where you're like, my God, and you were asking for more money. So you had the chief, you had Jason Williams, you had Sheriff Hudson. Anyone else at City Hall today?
I'm trying to think if there was a fourth person who was there. I just can't remember. I know on the agenda you had the chief, you had the DA, you had the sheriff. I think those were the big three. And then the other things that they were starting to talk about is to try and get better answers, more visibility, getting in a rhythm of answering things. The committee also has an ordinance to make those three parts of the criminal justice system appear on a quarterly basis. So that way we're getting information. And I think the most important thing, too, Corey, is making sure New Orleanians know this is what's happening. This is what's going on. This isn't what's going well. This is what's improving a little bit. So that way I think we can have a publicly dedicated forum on a very regular basis to make sure people are hearing what's happening from the most important parts of the criminal justice system.
Joe, we only got a couple of minutes left. I'm assuming you were blindsided the other day. The mayor attacking you, the mayor attacking Lakeview residents. Lakeview residents wants to be like, what? Why am I getting attacked for this flood money that might hit a deadline? Real quick, tell us what that was all about, if you can, in about a minute.
I'll try and make it as short as possible. I was completely confused and surprised because there's an issue with whether or not we could do a green infrastructure project in City Park. The problem is there were so many questions, both from neighbors from Lake Vista and Lakeview, as well as from other stakeholders about operations and maintenance and what's going on, that we just didn't think we could use the available money that was on a deadline at this moment. moment. So we reached an
City Park wants to know how much water you're pumping into their lagoons, too.
Well,
but, yeah, a lot of
course,
people.
Well, that and who's going to be responsible for it once it gets done. These things, it's not like you just lay pipe and then it's all over with.
So y'all are shifting that money before it goes, the deadline's up, to another project, so the money will be spent, and then money in the future for another project will be shifted back to this Lakeview project, correct?
That's 100% correct, and we are getting 3 separate, actually, now, Lakeview drainage studies for North and South Lakeview, West End, City Park, Navarre, so that needs to be examined as well. And then City Park has a master planning process that's coming up. Let's get all of the information together at one time, and then we can make a beautiful decision about what needs to happen in the future.
So you don't have to, example is rip up the newly done street so they can put in new sewage. Should have done that before you laid the street, Exactly. Everybody on the same page. Literally about 20 seconds. Are you guys getting the smart city info you requested from the mayor?
Well, we got the latest round of materials, and they're voluminous. I think we're going to leave to our lawyers and our investigators whether or not we've gotten everything, and then ask them to really start digging into that and give a report back to us to see what we have and what our next steps ought to be.
Any overt redactions or anything, blacked out stuff, or no?
I haven't seen any of the overt redactions. I think the obviously the story that the paper reported over the weekend is the one that we've seen now, and now we're going to ask our people that we've retained to say, is there more in the documents that we need to be examining?
Joe, thank you so much. A pleasure, man. Thanks.
Same here, Corey. Take care.
That's
Bye-bye.
Joe Giarrusso, New Orleans City Councilman, joining us on an array of topics. Coming right back.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. It is insanely hot out there. Be careful. Former New Orleans Sheriff Marlin Gusman joins us on the program once again. How you doing, Marlin?
I'm finding you, Corey.
Doing well. I pretty much every time I get you on, I gotta reminisce to, I guess it was early September 2005. You're coming out the water in Gentilly, pulling your boat out the water on the I-610 exit ramp. I was with a buddy launching a boat off the 610 ramp, and we were amazed at a 3-foot-long Jack Crevalle sitting on the ramp from the Gulf of Mexico.
Yep, 610 in Franklin.
Yep, launching boats.
It was a tough time.
Insane time. That Chevron station when the pumps are underwater, when that McDonald's at Elysian Fields and 610, the drive-through's underwater where you order. I'm like, this is insane. I'm going through the drive-through in a boat.
Yes.
Crazy times. Anyway, yeah, if anyone said Sheriff Marlin Gusman wasn't around after Katrina, they were mistaken.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had those lies out there, but it wasn't true.
Nope. Anyway, were you surprised you didn't win re-election?
I was. I really I wanted to continue serving. I have a history of service, public service to the city of New Orleans, the city I love. I've served as a Director of Property Management, Chief Administrative Officer, City Council member, and as Sheriff. So, yeah, I was surprised. But look, the election's over. That's behind us, and, we're going to move forward and keep our head up, trying to make our city better.
Hey, Marlin, the Saints, for instance, it's Coach Allen's team now, but it's a lot of the same of Sean Payton, but it's a new coach, so we're going to see some differences, but he's keeping a lot of the old stuff. Do you see that with this sheriff? Is Sheriff Hudson saying, hey, Marlin Gusman had a lot of things in place, we're embracing those, and we're just going to tweak out some things like the Saints? Or is it, we didn't like what Gusman was doing, and we're totally overhauling? What do you see?
Well, I think that there are a whole lot of good things that we were doing, and that's going to continue to go on. Everything from our GED program to our school, the Travis Hill School that was there, the programs that we had with Goodwill, the programs that we had with Tulane University Psychiatry Department, a lot of really good things. Unfortunately, though, it looks like a lot of the top leadership were replaced with cronies, and people from the campaign, which really isn't a good thing. You really need to go after competent, qualified people, and not just, the people who helped you get elected.
Yeah, Sheriff Hudson's never been a sheriff, obviously never run a jail. Is that kind of a problem that you see right now, that it's not sheriff qualified people or people that know how to run a jail that from the top, from Hudson herself to the underlings that she has brought in? Is it instead of bringing in folks, they always say hire folks that are smarter than you, that know it better than you, the experts in the field. Is she doing that or more of what you were implying?
Look, now, when we talked, we said we weren't going to be bashing, this isn't going to be a bash, 15 minutes. But look, the fact is that she does not have any administrative experience, has never managed more than 8 people, doesn't have a track record of being able to manage people and get results. And I think that's what's showing up right now. Decision-making, management, being able to take responsibility for your actions. So that's what's coming to roost right now.
Do you have guys like your former, guys you work with for years, for decades, that they're like, the sheriff's department not like it was when you were there, Marlin. I'm probably looking to retire or that type of thing. Or have some already left? Do you know?
Oh, yeah, some have left. Some have retired. When I left, and some were terminated because I guess they thought they were too close to the top, or maybe they were just trying to make room for, the ones they wanted, the people they wanted to bring in. But look, we left a secure facility. One thing is that we did not have this code of silence. When things happened, we would let the public know, hey, it happened, and this is how it happened, and this is how we're going to keep it from happening again. And we have the same manpower problems that affect all law enforcement agencies. I know that every agency in this community is actively seeking more law enforcement officers. Jefferson Parish, who constantly advertises, the state police, the New Orleans Police Department, everybody has manpower issues, but management is about, working through them and getting the results that you want to have.
You were for a mental health facility. Why do you think that hasn't happened since, you've been pushing that for a long time?
Well, look, I think that unfortunately there are some people who are willing to stand for and take second best. And that was not something I was ever for. Look, I inherited, not inherited, but, when I was elected, there were a hodgepodge of different facilities. Thankfully, we were able to close all of them, every single last one of them, and replace it with a modern direct supervision facility. The next step, and part of that also would be to have a modern mental health facility. And no one wants to have the sheriff or law enforcement in mental health, but the fact is that you can't get around it. There's no way around it. You have to provide for, a place when people do criminal acts that are mentally ill. And that's what it was about. That's what we were trying to do. And some people thought that, well, we could do it, second best. We could retrofit. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but to me, retrofit is always something a little less better than the standard of doing it right the first time. So I don't know why it didn't happen. I know that, it was constantly delayed, and maybe it will happen. If it does, that'll be in the best interest of the city of New Orleans and this region.
You know what retrofit means. It's taking the 76 Cutlass and putting a new headliner in it and new interior. That's what it means. Yeah, exactly. New would be nice. Hey, by the way, we're visiting with former Sheriff Marlin Gusman. 2 dead at the jail, Chief, over the weekend. If there was even a makeshift mental health facility, would there have been 2 dead at the jail over the weekend? I think you could safely say maybe 1 at least not dead if this suicide is what we're hearing happened.
Well, look, I'm not going to prognosticate on that, but look, the mental health facility that we were trying to build, state-of-the-art facility, one of the things that it had was only 1 floor. You know, and when you're doing mental health facilities in the 21st century, you don't build 2 floors. You build 1 floor, and that way, you know, they don't have this ability to, you know, to jump off or do anything like that. But I'm not going to try to.
No, I got you. No, you're just talking about state of the art. You've been saying that. Hey, no deputies were in that pod when the beating death took place. That obviously can't be standard operating procedure, right? That was a mistake. Someone dropped the ball.
That's what it sounds like, but I don't think we know enough right now because there hasn't been the transparency, you know, that we were told would happen.
No, that's right.
So,
you're right about that. It was all about transparency and criminal justice reform.
You know, this use of the word progressive, which, you know, I resented during the campaign because, you know, I consider myself progressive. You know, putting a school, an accredited school within the jail, working with institutions outside of the jail, having them come in to do job training and job readiness, having people from the outside come in just to talk to them, to help them feel better about themselves. You know, that's progressive. And you know, so I think maybe they hijacked it for another reason.
Sheriff, any final comments? Are you thinking about ever getting back into it again?
Well, no, you heard me laughing. That was me chuckling. Look, I'm grateful and honored to the people for being able to serve them, and you know, I'm not ruling anything out. But right now, I'm spending a lot of time with my grandchildren, children, and my family.
Good for you.
We'll see, though.
Hey, how many years were you sheriff, by the way? I want to say 18, but I hate when I guess and I'm wrong.
Right close to 18, a little more than 17.
Okay.
And you know, 4 in the city council and 6 as the chief administrative officer.
Yep. Sheriff Gusman, always a pleasure. I appreciate you joining me this afternoon.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you. Keep it up.
All right, I try. Thanks, you too. That's former Sheriff Marlin Gusman joining us on the program. Yeah, a lot of problems going on with, I mean, I've said it. You know, this, I think Marlin just said it kind of in a good way. This word progressive has become like a bad word. But I think Marlin takes it like from its original Webster's definition, like forward thinking and transparency. And this sheriff, I don't think we're seeing much of that at all. And even him saying, man, I really can't comment on that because we don't know what went down, I think is pretty fair because of the lack of transparency.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Rouse's Market's phone lines are open at 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. It is a wide open Wednesday, 92 degrees. Feels like $1.02. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you can always catch us on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, lots of places. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Joe Giarrusso about 30 minutes ago. The New Orleans City Councilman joined us to talk about the police chief, the DA, the sheriff, all visiting the council chambers today, maybe getting facial recognition technology and other, technology like tracing cell phones to find criminals, that type of stuff. The city using that again. And then also the mayor lashing out at Giarrusso and Lakeview residents for maybe potentially screwing up some flood project, which apparently isn't true at all. Kind of blindsided Joe Giarrusso when he pretty much has everything taken care of on that end. Anyway, he joined us to discuss all of that. And then just a few minutes ago, former Sheriff Marlin Gusman joined us to discuss all the craziness going on with his old jail and the new sheriff and crime in general and the 2 deaths at the jail and mental health and all that stuff. Thanks for checking us out at 93.9 FM. Every weekday afternoon, 4 p.m. till 6, 2 big hours. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Learn it, live it, love it. 107.9 FM, New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. Another way to check out the show. Cox Channel 4 TV. We're on TV right now. 4 to 6 on radio, 4 to 5:30 on television. That's Cox Channel 4 all over Louisiana. Charter/Spectrum Channel 333 all over Louisiana. live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. Take the show with you on the road. We're on YouTube, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. That's how you can find us. And that's where you can find Sheriff Marlin Gusman or Joe Giarrusso or any of the stuff we've been yapping about lately. Hey, Art and Eyes on Magazine, just last night, I got a great compliment on these glasses. How often do you get compliments on your glasses, was what the girl asked me. And then she goes, that's why I was doing this to my glasses. I said, I saw you doing that to your glasses. I didn't know that was a sign that you liked my glasses. But she did. I think I was returning something to a Lowe's, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where that happened. Almost, I don't want to say every day, but once a week, either these glasses or my sunglasses, like never before in my life. It's crazy. It's insane. 40 plus years of wearing prescription eyewear, and I get more compliments on the glasses I got at Art and Eyes on Magazine than anywhere else. If glasses don't mean anything to you, you're like, man, yeah, I know it's part of how I look every day, all the time, and you want 2 pairs for $79, do not go to Art and Eyes on Magazine. I'm not saying it's expensive. They got expensive stuff. They've got low price stuff. They got all kind of stuff. It's all high quality, though. Price points for everyone. But there's no 2 for $79, I promise you that. If you're looking for stuff that you get at the shopping mall, everyday stuff, those designer name brands you think are like separate and exclusive when they're all part of Luxottica, this mob-owned European conglomerate that makes all their stuff in China. All of it. They might put it together in Italy and say, made in Italy. All the parts come from China. You want that kind of stuff? Then go to the shopping mall. Go to the strip mall. But if you want eyewear that's as unique as you, high-quality eyewear, you will literally find nowhere else. You won't find their glasses anywhere else, unless you go to like New York or L.A. or Paris. It is an insanely high-end eyewear boutique. Price points for everyone. And a few thousand sets of frames to look through. Quality eyewear from world-class designers. Frames from France and Belgium, Japan, Germany, the United States. If you wear prescription eyewear, you like wearing glasses as a fashion statement, you want a great pair of sunglasses. The best pair of sunglasses in your life. Art and Eyes on Magazine in between Louisiana and Napoleon. Google them. Art and Eyes. I guess the official website is artandeyesneworleansla.com. No, I'll never go back anywhere else. I love my glasses. I love my sunglasses. And I love the crew over there. Great folks over there at Art and Eyes on Magazine. Wide Open Wednesday. Father's Day is this Sunday. Woodhouse Day Spa, a suggestion, ladies. Boy, it's 92 degrees, feels like a $1.02. Hot out there. Be careful. 1 felony tax charge has been dismissed, but 10 remain for New Orleans DA Jason Williams. His federal trial starts 4 weeks from this Monday. Another distraction for our city, and he's our crime fighter. The city council may finally come to their senses and reestablish the use of facial recognition technology and other, technologically based crime fighting tools that the city has run from. Hyper liberal, woke politics, more worried about the criminal than the citizens. It's mind boggling. It's mind boggling. Last week's Friday flooding, the Sewage and Water Board originally said, the pumps can't keep up that standard line. Today, Ghassan Corban, who I like a lot, said there was a 2-hour delay in the Gentilly pump starting. That 4 inches dropped in about 2 hours. The Gentilly pumping station responsible for 85% of drainage from Gentilly to the Industrial Canal. The most controversial U.S. Open takes place tomorrow. The LIV Tour, man. The more I hear people talk. Boy, Brandel Chambly from the Golf Channel, that commentator, just ripped Mickelson, ripped the Saudis, ripped LIV. All insanely valid points. Passionate, thoughtful, reasonable. What's that, Blue Boy? You thought I was talking about you? You are all those things and so much more, buddy. What? I've still got work to do. Focus. Okay, what? 5 o'clock powwow. Let folks know about that. Tell folks to stick around. Thanks for checking us out. Don't go anywhere. What else? Legal ID. Oh, yeah, 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM, New Orleans. Blue Boy, thank you.
If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
I feel personally, when I walk around on the grounds, that it's sacred ground. It's healing. Just the environment is healing. Just being here makes one feel like that, I can let go. I can let go of the worry. I can let go of the stress that I've been carrying around for a long time. We don't shame anybody. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone. Just that alone really is the foundation on which everything else that we do is done.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benjamin Moore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Oh, yeah. I had some great folks writing great theme songs and music for sitcoms, huh? For television in the 70s. Real musicians, real music, pretty neat. Sanford and Son, I mean, what a classic. Aunt Esther, Lamont, too funny. Chico and the Man, a spinoff. Where's Drew Brees? Speaking of the junkyard, La Jolla, similar to a junkyard.
This is New Orleans.
I wonder how far outside of La Jolla you have to go to find a junkyard. Oh, boy. La Jolla. Mucho expensivo. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. I love Wide Open Wednesday because you're the show producer. Whatever you like to discuss, got you covered because you're the producer. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Wow. Last hour, former Sheriff Marlin Gusman joining us about 30 minutes ago. You can check that out on YouTube or Anchor or iTunes or Spotify. Joe Giarrusso joined us, New Orleans council person as well in the 4 o'clock hour. Fill you in on all of that. The city council may finally come to their senses and reestablish the use of facial recognition technology and other, 2022 type law enforcement technology that's used all across the country. Speaking of the city council, the police chief, the DA Jason Williams, Sheriff Hudson, all at the council chambers. Sheriff Hudson can't explain. It's kind of humorous. Understaffed, need more resources, need more money, don't know how the money's being spent right now. It is just typical New Orleans politics. I mean, is there an office, seriously, outside of the Inspector General's office, where you know the money is properly being spent, where it's at the very least being spent fairly efficiently, where there's a plan, there's an operation in place, there are goals and objectives? Because right now, every department I see is just a total wing it. Ready, fire, aim. It's amazing the city is even here at all. Seriously, everything is dysfunctional. Everything is dysfunctional. I like Ghassan Korban from the Sewage and Water Board. I think he's the answer to our problems ultimately, if he'll stick around. He's used to running a public entity like some public service for a municipality that has its ups and downs and problems, not one that is antiquated, running on power that doesn't exist anymore. Just so many things. It's just it's Band-Aids, bubble gum, rubber bands. It's MacGyver, man. It's a joke. It's a joke. I just don't know how long he's going to stick around. Last week, Friday's flooding. The Sewage and Water Board originally said, their standard line, the pumps can't keep up. 4 inches of rain drop in a few hours. We know that. I mean, it's kind of like common knowledge as a New Orleanian. The pumps can do an inch of rain the first hour, then a half inch an hour after that. So it's an inch the first hour. After hour 2, it's an inch and a half. After hour 3, it's 2 inches. After hour 4, it's 2.5 inches. An inch the first hour, half inch of rain every hour after that. It's kind of like, common knowledge being a Yaddy New Orleanian. We know that. The pumps can't keep up. We know that. 4 inches of rain fell in a few hours. The problem, Ghassan Corban said today there was a 2-hour delay in Gentilly at that Gentilly pumping station for the major pumps to get going. They weren't in operation for at least 2 hours till they figured out the problem. Or 4 inches of rain later, basically. Gentilly's pumping station is responsible for 85% of drainage from Gentilly all the way east to the Industrial Canal. And for 2 hours, 3 of the 4 inches of rain falling in 2 hours, the pumps were not even operating. That's why it flooded there, not because 4 inches of rain came down in a few hours and the pumps can't keep up. Wow, 2 more arrested in the shooting death of 80-year-old Augustine Greenwood, a grandmother, a mother, coming from one of her grandkids' graduation. 80-year-old grandmother walking to her car, catches a bullet and dies. It's insane. It's not even believable. What's worse, besides a juvenile being arrested and like a 20-year-old being arrested for murder, a 49-year-old, Frank Bartholomew, arrested. Another 40-year-old, Laverne Duplessis, arrested. 49 and 40? Full-blown adults. Look, these young kid adults that we have to deal with in New Orleans, these 16 to 25-year-old lunatic kids that shoot up stuff, it's bad enough. They're idiots, no parenting, no life experience, no understanding of repercussions. I can go on and on and on. They're idiots. 49 years old and 40, you've been around a while. You're a full-blown adult. No excuse. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Hey, 1 felony tax charge has been dismissed, but 10 others remain. 10 others remain for New Orleans DA Jason Williams. He was running for DA when he was indicted by the feds, not locally, by the feds. And he won election in New Orleans. That wasn't a deterrent for voters. Anyway, his trial's 4 weeks from Monday. There's lots of rumors going on behind the scenes that Jason Williams, his attorney, Billy Gibbons, who is, if you're guilty of something, get like a Billy Gibbons. Get your boy I was talking about from Metairie that got the DA on the North Shore off. That got him out of jail under Corona. Get those kind of guys. They'll get you off maybe. Or they'll get the least possible punishment for you, the criminal. And a lot of rumors Gibbons is working with the feds trying to bang out a deal where DA Jason Williams steps down, on and on and on. You have the leverage of the office. That's a card you can throw out. That's what was so beautiful about, besides just righteousness, Joseph Gow, a good man, upsetting Bill Jefferson for that congressional seat. That was insane. That was glorious. It also took away one of Bill Jefferson's cards. He may have not gone to jail. It might have been, I'll resign from Congress. I won't run again. You got me there. Instead, he wasn't a congressman anymore. That's why he went to the slammer. Boy, going down the wrong path, huh? And Bill Jefferson's too old for redemption. He's not running for anything anymore. I've often said, I think Mark Morial was told by the feds, because of he had the most corrupt administration in the history of New Orleans mayors. Find me one more corrupt. And don't take my word for it. Google it. His mom's brother, Haydel, went to jail. Jacques and Mark were like the only ones that didn't in that administration. Now, my personal view, you think there's just a wild card guess, or you think there's some logic to it? The feds said, get out of New Orleans. No more political influence from either one of you. Play MIA. You're Chuck Norris in Vietnam in a bamboo cage. Go away. forgotten. Mark Morial's been with the Urban League in New York for a couple of decades now. Has no influence on New Orleans politics in the least bit. No one anywhere, especially in the black community, especially the acronym folks, bold, life, soul, coup, all that kind of thinking. And I know some of those are anti-Morial and pro-Jefferson and all that. No one would have thought Mark Morial would not have any influence, have no say, have no opinions, not be a part of New Orleans politics in the future. He is in New York. For 20 years, he's been gone. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Edwin Edwards got old and went away, went to jail. A blessing. A blessing. Alario's retired. Heitmeyer's retired. Thank God. No, but there are other jokers that follow that lead and take their place. Almost got sick the other day when Oliver Thomas brought up, who did he bring up? John Alario and, the total scumbag. Just a piece of garbage, worthless, should have been in jail. He was, I think, a couple of times an unindicted, witness for trials. Oh, Sherman Copeland, just the worst of the worst. You know what that poor guy's doing? He's like 70-something years old, still part of one of those acronym groups, still, pulling $500 from this guy running for election, $1,000 from this guy going to pick up checks so they can be endorsed by Bold Life, Soul Coup, whichever group Sherman Copeland's part of. No, just criminal enterprise, all those folks.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Alarms.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, Super discount store in Chalmette.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Where New Orleans talks, 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM. Jason's at the control. What up, dude? Yo, Jason. I forgot. Call up Paula for us. Forgot to tell you that. I apologize. That means get to work, dude. What happened to the wonderful door stopper there? He's sagging a little bit. He seems sad. Come on, dude, that's high tech. I can't believe that. It's amazing. We have this like state-of-the-art door stopper. It's one of those expensive ones, like stainless steel. It's got a great mount to the wall. It's like artsy looking. Jason's just abusing it. It's terrible. I bet that thing costs a few $100 at least, like $200. Yep. State-o-the-art, bro. I think it's a cup taped to the wall. Hey, Fausto's Italian Bistro is open right now. They opened 21 minutes ago. They'll go to about 9 o'clock tonight, 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday night. Why don't you go sit at the bar? Why don't you grab a table? It's as good as it gets when it comes to Sicilian and Italian. Plus great service, great atmosphere. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets tonight for dinner. So many of you have been hearing me talk about this place for so long. You folks that go to Fausto's know what I'm talking about. You folks that have never been, what are you waiting for? Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. So good. I love Italian and Sicilian, huh? We're blessed. Hey, Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. Area code 504-766-9480. 766-9480. It's like 92 right now. Feels like 102. A lot going on. The city council may finally come to their senses and reestablish the use of facial recognition technology. In the 4 o'clock hour, about an hour ago, around 4:20, New Orleans Councilman Joe Giarrusso joined us on the program to talk about that, plus the police chief, Chief Ferguson, visited with the council, the DA, Jason Williams, and also Sheriff Hudson. Speaking of Sheriff Hudson, the jail, 2 dead, moving deputies from the jail, from criminal court to the jail, shutting down criminal court. Can't have that. No deputies were in the pod when the beating death took place. Former Sheriff Marlin Gusman, 18 years almost as sheriff in New Orleans. Former Sheriff Marlin Gusman joined us about 30 minutes ago on the program. He had some interesting comments to say about all of this. By the way, you can check it all out on YouTube, on Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, via the podcast. The Sewage and Water Board says the pumps weren't working in Gentilly for 2 hours. That's how we had flooding. Too bad those pumps weren't pumping NAD into your system. Let's head over to the North Shore Springfield Wellness Center. That's right, Jason. That was a smooth segue. Pumps pumping water, IV, NAD from Springfield Wellness Center. Paula Norris-Metier joins us from Springfield, Louisiana, gorgeous part of the state, right outside of Ponchatoula, strawberry country. How you doing, Paula?
Oh, I'm doing great, and I just think you're right. We need an NAD in the water.
Exactly.
It'll make life better for everybody.
Get the plane that does the crop dusting and fill it with NAD and just fly over the city.
Oh, there, now that's another way to administer it. That'd be good, too.
Hey, all kidding aside, as this thing has progressed, why don't we go back to 20-plus years ago? How was it originally administered then, the single way, and then take us to today and how many different ways it's administered? And I mean legitimately, from Springfield Wellness Center and the high-quality NAD that you guys use, not folks that are saying it's NAD and it's not, or it's a substandard, I guess.
Well, I can tell you this, that what we've been using for years and years and years is absolutely the best. We initially started using some product from South Africa in the early days, but we understood that there was a big difference just because the South African product was lyophilized, and NAD is a very sensitive molecule, so the heat from that process would diminish its potency. Well, we don't do that anymore. Right now, the NAD that is compounded by Archway Apothecary for us, that does not diminish at all in that process. In fact, it is stable for at least 3 or 6 months. We always try to use it early on when they compound it. But in any case, the first use for it was basically to help people who had become dependent on addictive substances, not through any fault of their own, but just that, they had a back surgery, or they got addicted to pain meds, or they had the genetic makeup to be at risk for alcohol abuse. So we used it to help people with their addictions, and it's been fabulous. We've done that for now 21 years. And we're still going strong with doing it that way. But in addition, we realize that because stress is the culprit in diminishing the NAD level in the cell, then we have to keep pumping it up. It's like a car with gasoline. You have to, after you run out, you use it up, you've got to fill it back up again. I guess that's true for these electric cars, too. I haven't really thought about that too much, but nevertheless, what we did as a result is that we came up with several different options of the delivery of the NAD besides just the IV infusions. And those delivery systems include patches, a 4, a 6, and an 8, 4, a 8, and a 12-hour patch that will, in a time-released way, release the NAD into your system. And then we have sub-Q shots that you can give yourself. I give mine, in fact, I did this morning with my knee that's still rehabbing from the surgery. And then we have nasal spray, we have a cream, we have, let's see, what else? There's so many things. We have a system called the SphenoCath where we are able to deposit some of the NAD closest to the brain by using a method to get it in up through your nose without hurting you, and releasing it there. And then we have I think I've covered, most of it. But anyway, we have lots of different things that will actually give you the NAD unit. The one that I'm missing, I knew I was missing one. Anyway, the melts, I call them melts. They're the easiest to take because they don't. They don't require a physician's prescription, but it is it's a tablet that just melts in your mouth. And I take it every day. I take 1 in the morning, and then I take 2 in the late afternoon because I want to sleep better, and it helps me sleep better when I take 2 in the late afternoon.
Hey Paula,
so we have all these different ways.
Yeah, I have a. You're gonna laugh at this. an older dog, and he was having leg problems, and this really great stuff. It used to be for equine for horses, and it's called Adequane, and it's an injectable, and and it's really saved my dog's life. It got him right back to normal, going up and down steps, and his legs were like collapsing in the back. It's
oh wow,
great stuff.
Well, that's good to know. I'm writing that down. Let me tell you a little story about one of our staff people. She had a little dog who had heart problems. And so my husband said, well, why don't you rub the NAD cream on her heart? Because this dog was not eating. This dog was lethargic. This dog wasn't running around or doing anything that would normally be the case for her. And so this staff person put the cream on the heart. And the next day, this dog is eating and running around and jumping and he lived another year. What is that? We don't know how to explain all that.
Well, I mean,
But
we know that NAD is fuel for cells. We know it's not a drug. We know all that.
Yeah.
My dog, it was like 2 shots a week for the first month, so 8 shots that first month. Then it was 1 shot a week for the second month. Then it was a shot every other week the third month, and then the fourth month it's a shot a month. So NAD's similar, like you're going for this multi-hour IV drip of NAD getting pumped into your system, essentially, tapping right into a vein. You go to a few sessions to kind of, your tank's empty, you fill it. And then you were talking about the lotions or those, you know, the soft chew things that that you suck on or whatever, like the hard candy type thing or whatever. That's just to keep the tank full, kind of in between the right.
And it is, and then for some people, even if they should relapse or something, they can pump themselves right back up if they've got it on hand, and not have the craving again. It's remarkable what it can do, but it does require a maintenance attitude toward it. It's not a cure, but we need vitamin C. We need vitamin D.
Oh no, good diet, exercise, all that. But then another good thing about NAD, it is a kind of a brain maximizer. It resets the brain. Being able to, hey, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to change my life. It gives you a better chance of that happening than without. I mean, when you mention the folks coming off of, off of an addiction, it shortens the their period of.
It does. I mean, and if
the term I'm forgetting, the detoxification. Yeah, I mean, it shortens that. It makes it less intense, and then it gives them more clarity of their brain to have confidence to sort of take on life. I mean, that's an important factor.
It gives your brain the energy that it doesn't have when it's deficient. You get lethargic. You get depressed. You just don't feel like getting up and doing anything.
Well, plus
that's
I think
a signal that the NAD is at a deficiency level for you.
And I think addiction, a lot of the time, you're filling a hole. I don't know what it is. There's drinking or drugs to fill some void in your life. So when you get off that stuff, that hole's still there. So you got to fill it, and with NAD, you got a much better chance of filling it.
I think you fill it with the right stuff.
Right, than falling back in that hole again. Hey, Paula, the best way, and I know you want folks to come tour the facility. You want folks to check you out on the website. I implore folks to learn about NAD, not only on the Springfield Wellness website, but Google it, whatever, DuckDuckGo, whatever search engine. Go to multiple sites, get a consensus from some people you can trust and find out what NAD is all about. The Springfield Wellness Center website is springfieldwellnesscenter.com. And the phone number is 291-4000. 291-4000. Paula, always a pleasure.
Always my pleasure, Corey. Come see me.
I know. I'm overdue. It's ridiculous. I promise. I'll see you soon. All right.
All right.
That's Paula Norris Medier joining us from Springfield Wellness Center, where under the oak trees it's got to be a little cooler, and on the bayou than in the city with all the concrete, huh? Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. I said earlier, 92 feels like a $1.02. It's hot out there. Keep a little agua going for sure. Water, H2O, stay hydrated, especially you folks that are outside all the time. And I don't know, Jason, I see these cats that are like, laborers outside. They're like orange. I guess they're just immune to the sun by now. Blonde hair when they're like brown or black hair. I'd be putting on like big old floppy, goofy hats looking like, some southern lady in Gone with the Wind. A sombrero that you could use like as something you put on a table that you put food and drinks and ice in it, and it's so big. It's not a hat or a sombrero. It's like it's a thing to display food or stuff. I'd have that hat on. When I play golf, Jason, I wear this big old wide brim hat, and I do not care that I look like a goofball. I don't care. Hey, you want the next great invention? I'm waiting for like the Teflon cover, Jason, in like a silver or white. That's 20, 30 feet by 30 feet, a big, thin, lightweight Teflon square, like a big sheet, and 4 drones that stretch it out and fly about 20, 30 feet above your head, so you're in continuous shade. Playing tennis, the little drone thing's floating above your head on the tennis court. Fishing, the little drone thing's following you in your boat as you're trolling along. The sun moves in the sky, the drone shifts over a few inches. Walking in golf, drone. Hunting, over the blind, camouflage cover, drone. All right, enough of that. It is Wide Open Wednesday, not Fantasy Friday. Hey, Lamarck Ford, the big store. Lamarck Ford right next door to Lamarck Lincoln. They got something in common. They're both number 1 in the region. Part of the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park. They've got their own exit off the interstate in Kennebra. Take that Williams Boulevard 32nd Street exit off I-10, stay to the left, and that'll plop you down right smack dab in the middle of the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Every day on radio, on television, YouTube. Lots of ways to check out the program. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Corey Johnson with you. A Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Joe Giarrusso joining us around 4:20. The mayor kind of came out of nowhere the other day blaming Joe Giarrusso, blaming Lakeview residents, some federal money that's about to expire not being spent on flood protection, jeopardizing the flood protection. And Giarrusso's kind of scratching his head going, what? We have this all figured out. We're using the Lakeview money in another project, and then in the future, that other project with a later deadline will give us the money back, and we'll do the Lakeview project. But a lot of people are involved. We're figuring it all out, and we want to get it all linked in with other projects in the area. Work together. Anyway, the mayor hasn't replied back from that. I just think felt like lashing out at Lakeview residents and Joe Giarrusso for some odd reason. I mean, right now I would say sadly, Mayor LaToya Cantrell, I'm not trying to be a jerk, because she's just ordinary. She's nothing special. She's not a change agent, a difference maker, someone who's highly intelligent. She's not dumb. She's just average. She's not special. And now a lot of what's hitting the fan. And I think mentally she can only handle so much. Like a lot of folks, like me and you, can only handle so much. There's a limit for all of us. She's hitting her limit, whatever it is, and is starting to stress out and act irrational and lash out. And anyway, the city council may finally come to their senses and reestablish the use of facial recognition technology and other modern crime-fighting technology. The police chief, the DA, the sheriff, all visiting with the council today. Hey, speaking of the DA, one felony tax charge has been dismissed, but 10 remain for DA Jason Williams' federal tax trial. That goes down 4 weeks from Monday. Last week, Friday's flooding, the Sewage and Water Board originally said, the standard company line, the pumps can't keep up. A lot of the time that's the case. 4 inches of rain fell in a few hours. Today, Gassan Corban of the Sewage and Water Board said there was a 2-hour delay at the Gentilly pumping station. The 3 most vital pumps there weren't online. Took 2 hours to get them online. That Gentilly pumping station responsible for about 85% of drainage from Gentilly to the Industrial Canal. Wow, 2 more arrested in 80-year-old Augustine Greenwood's death. The grandmother shot outside of the graduation by Xavier. A 49-year-old and a 40-year-old. It's unbelievable. Full-blown adults. 49-year-old Frank Bartholomew and 40-year-old Laverne Duplessis. The most controversial U.S. Open takes place tomorrow with this LIV golf as a backdrop. Golf Channel commentator Brandel Chambly, check out what he's been saying, just ripping Phil Mickelson, ripping the Saudis, ripping LIV, ripping Greg Norman, Mickelson, Hall of Famers. Their Hall of Fame should be taken away because they're hurting the game of golf now. Pretty interesting comments. Really interesting comments. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. Yeah, these guys, Latrim in Elmwood and Latrim in Hammond. So East Bankers, West Bankers, and you North Shore folks, Latrim's got you covered. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
If you or a loved one are suffering from Parkinson's disease, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
People started coming to us and asking for help for things other than addiction. We have a Parkinson's patient here. He comes in once a month and gets his little booster because that's what you have to do. In 2 hours after he started, his tremors in his hands stopped. So he said, Paula, your major marketing challenge is that it's too good to be true. But it's true. It truly is true. We can't say that all of these things have a cure, but these things happen and they're real.
Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
Make the call, 504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, Super discount store in Chalmette.
Yeah, you, right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Thanks so much for checking us out. Hey, did you catch the 4 o'clock hour? Joe Giarrusso joined us, New Orleans City Councilman. So did former Sheriff Marlin Gusman. That was some interesting stuff. You can find that at YouTube. Just put Corey Johnson Neutral Ground in the old search bar. Our Twitter at Corey Johnson. Got the link to it there as well. Check that out. Some interesting comments from Joe Giarrusso about what happened at today's council session. The police chief, the DA, the sheriff were all there answering questions, trying to get facial recognition technology up and going again. So another crime-fighting tool in the utility belt for the cops. Also talked to Joe Giarrusso about Mayor LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell lashing out at Giarrusso and Lakeview residents for blowing a potential flood protection measure, but it's not being blown. I don't know what's up with the mayor. I think just hyper stressed out and lashing out. It's amateur hour. A little after 4:30, speaking of amateur hour, Sheriff Hudson, 2 dead at the jail. moving deputies to the jail from criminal court, causing criminal court to shut down. Reportedly, no deputies in the pod when the beating death took place. We had on former Sheriff Marlin Gusman discussing that and more. You can find all of that, YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Pick your poison. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe tonight for dinner. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. I often talk about the lamb chops. 6 lamb chops with this veggie medley on the side, grilled veggies and onions. And then you still get 2 Mediterranean, 2 Lebanese sides like baba ganoush or tabbouleh or hummus, mujedra. I love the fried football kibbe. Outstanding. And it's 20-something bucks. Where can you get 6 lamb chops, a veggie and onion grilled medley on the side, and 2 Lebanese sides to go with it, like tabbouleh, baba ganoush, hummus, mujedra, that basmati rice, that salad? 20-something bucks. Lebanon's Cafe. Lamb chops tonight for dinner. Lamb chops. Lebanon's. La, 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 la. I like lamb chops. It's so good. It's those little lollipops. Just pick up the bone when no one's looking, like eating fried chicken. I think it's legal. I got to pick up fried chicken. I don't care if I'm at Galatoire's, I'm picking up fried chicken. That leg is meant to be held. That's the handle. You notice there's a handle on one end and all the meat's on the other end? It's designed that way for eating purposes. Anyway, a lot going on besides what I just mentioned. Last Friday's flooding. If you remember, the Sewage and Water Board said, and I'm not saying like they're standing in line like they were lying. They said, the pumps can't keep up. But then Augustine Greenwood today said there was a 2-hour delay in the Gentilly pumps getting started at all. The 3 major pumps there did not crank up for 2 hours. Took them 2 hours to diagnose the problem, fix the problem, and get the pumps going. In that 2 hours, you probably had 3 of the 4 inches that fell in Gentilly come out of the sky. So 3 inches come down and the pumps aren't working at all. We know the general, kind of as a New Orleanian, it's like common knowledge. Sewage and Water Board pumps can handle 1 inch of rain an hour for the first hour. And then a 1/2 inch of rain every hour after that. So if 3 inches fell in a couple of hours, they at least would have gotten 1.5 inches of that out of there. At least 1.5 inches in that 2 hours. And there would have been 1.5 inches of rain still there, but not 3. 50% less. Ask people in Gentilly if that means something. 50% less water on the street. That Gentilly pumping station, by the way, Augustine Greenwood said 85% of drainage from the Gentilly neighborhood east to the Industrial Canal, 85% of that drainage comes from that Gentilly pumping station. There were 2 more arrests in the sad, tragic death of 80-year-old Augustine Greenwood, the grandmother. Went to see her kids at graduation over by Xavier and then gets shot. Sunny afternoon, like 11 in the morning, walking to her car with her family. Shot and killed. They arrested a juvenile, name not released, who was carrying a gun. They arrest about a 20-year-old, name was released, I forget his name. He shot a gun. And then they arrested a 49-year-old and a 40-year-old, and one of these guys shot the gun and convicted of maybe murdering Augustine Greenwood. Homicide. 49-year-old Frank Bartholomew and 40-year-old Laverne Duplessis. And Laverne's a dude, by the way. I'm not making fun. I'm just telling you. Anyway, pathetic. 40 and 49. Full-blown adults. Acting like juvenile children with no parenting. They don't understand repercussions. Armed and acting like idiots. And their ignorance and stupidity killed 80-year-old Augustine Greenwood. And now we got to pay for these jackasses to go to jail for decades. 4 clowns going to be in jail for decades. It's millions and millions of dollars. And no Augustine Greenwood. Nothing good about any of this. Nothing good about any of it at all. Hey, J&J Exterminating, lots of good about those guys. Like mosquito-proofing your yard. I don't worry about mosquitoes in my yard because I got the Shield. Anywhere in Louisiana that you can hear me or see me, you too can get the Shield. Just go online, jjext.com.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size with 4